Welcome back to another episode of Ancient Mysteries Science Can't Explain, right here on Untold Mysteries. What happens when an artifact is discovered not half-carved from stone, but fully inscribed with secrets we still can't decipher? From one mystery carved into rock, we move to another that could hold the key to a hidden treasure, or perhaps something far more mysterious: the Copper Scroll. An artifact unlike any other found among the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Copper Scroll isn't a religious text, a historical record, or a prophecy. Instead, it appears to be a treasure map, etched onto metal rather than delicate parchment, listing vast hoards of gold and silver hidden in locations no one has ever successfully identified. What is this ancient document? Who wrote it? And most importantly, where is the treasure it speaks of? The Copper Scroll was first discovered in 1952 in a cave at Qumran, the same archaeological site where the famous Dead Sea Scrolls were found. But while the other scrolls were written on papyrus or animal skin and contained biblical texts, laws, and commentaries, this one was different. Instead of being carefully written on parchment, it was carved onto thin sheets of copper so brittle that it had to be carefully unrolled in pieces. The language, though related to Hebrew, was unusual, as if it had been written in a shorthand or code, and the contents, unlike anything ever discovered, did not discuss theology or prophecy. Instead, the Copper Scroll read like an inventory, listing over 60 locations, each supposedly containing caches of gold, silver, and other valuable treasures. The sheer amount described is staggering, estimated to be worth billions in today's money, but despite decades of searching, no one has ever found any of the treasures it describes. Some scholars believe that these riches were hidden by the Jewish people during the Roman siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD, perhaps belonging to the Great Temple of Solomon or the Second Temple before its destruction. Others argue that it predates the Roman era, linking it to even older Jewish priestly sects or the mysterious Essenes who lived at Qumran. Theories about the Copper Scroll's origins are as varied as the treasure hunters who have tried to decipher it. Some believe it is a genuine record of hidden wealth, a final, desperate attempt to preserve sacred treasures before they were lost to invading forces. If true, it could be one of the greatest undiscovered caches of ancient wealth in history. Others argue that it's a forgery or a symbolic text, never meant to be taken literally. They claim the language is too strange, the locations too vague, the amounts of gold and silver too extravagant to be real. Could the Copper Scroll be an ancient hoax? Or was it a real map? One whose directions have been lost to time. One of the biggest challenges in unlocking the Copper Scroll's secrets is the locations themselves. The text refers to places that no longer exist or whose names have changed over the centuries. Unlike other historical treasure maps, which often contain landmarks or geographical clues, the Copper Scroll's descriptions are frustratingly cryptic. It speaks of tunnels, pools, courtyards, and tombs, but without exact coordinates. Every expedition ends in failure. In the years following its discovery, treasure hunters and archaeologists alike have combed the region, hoping to find even a small fraction of the riches it describes. Some have claimed to find potential sites, but none have yielded anything conclusive. The greatest mystery remains. If the treasure was real, was it already found and taken? Or is it still out there, hidden beneath the sands of the Middle East? There's also the question of why the Copper Scroll was made of metal in the first place. Every other Dead Sea Scroll was written on fragile material meant to be stored and read by a select group of scholars or religious figures. But the Copper Scroll was designed to last. Whoever created it must have intended for it to endure the test of time, possibly as a last resort to ensure that the treasure's location would not be forgotten. The effort it took to engrave these words onto metal suggests that whatever it described was of the utmost importance. If the Copper Scroll is real and the treasure remains unfound, it would be one of the most astonishing discoveries in history. Vast amounts of gold and silver, preserved for thousands of years, could completely change our understanding of ancient economies and religious institutions. But if it's a hoax or a misunderstanding, then it remains one of the most elaborate and perplexing mysteries of the ancient world. Was this scroll a desperate act by a people on the brink of destruction, A message from an unknown civilization, or simply a riddle designed to mislead anyone who tried to follow its path? The copper scroll remains an unsolved enigma, a tantalizing glimpse into a past filled with hidden riches and unanswered questions. The mysteries you've just seen are only fragments of a forgotten past, secrets still buried, questions still unanswered. Subscribe to Untold Mysteries, and join us as we uncover the rest of the story in the episodes to come. The next enigma awaits.